I get asked quite a lot by different people on what does it feel like to wear a hearing aid? And it's something obviously that you're not used to if you're not wearing it at all, which I get, totally get that. But then people still ask me that question. And I thought in this video, I'm going to tell you a few things you should know about what does it feel like and also the pain points about wearing it as well. Coming right up. What's up everyone, I am Ahmed Khalifa and this is an interesting video for me because I don't really tell people enough about what does it feel like. Even though they ask me about it, I just kind of mumble along, just go over it very quickly. But let's just get very specific because it can be a good thing to wear, it can be quite annoying thing to wear because it's not the best thing to wear for me in my opinion. Other people might be different. So this is my personal feeling. It's not something that everyone will feel the same way as well. The one thing I would say that in terms of what does it feel like to wear it, well, the best way to describe it is if you are wearing one of these, just a standard in-ear headphone. That's the best way I can describe, tell you what does it feel like. But obviously, wearing this, it's gonna sound different compared to wearing that. So why don't we just get through the basic stuff about what does it sound like as well as what does it feel like wearing it as well. And there are different things you have to think about. One is it depends on the type of hearing aid. It could be the in-ear only, it could be the over-the-ear, and obviously the people with cochlear implants as well. The different type of hearing aid, they will have different feelings. But most of them will have this in-ear factor as well. So it can be a quite small one, could be a big one like I have, or could be around the ear like I have as well. And I had a combination of them. They all have different purpose and they all feel differently. Just depends on what works for that person. And even though it got a lot better over the years in terms of the fitting and get it like size and everything, it's not always that comfortable to wear. And there are certain times of the day if it's kind of hot or if it's something that's not a comfortable environment or the noise level or anything like that, it can be quite uncomfortable to wear it in terms of feeling and in terms of how it sounds. And just something that you have to get used to it. And some people, they can get used to it to the point where they get to ignore it. Others, it just takes a bit longer time to get used to it, if at all. So it's not always the most comfortable experience, but you don't have another option really. You just have to get on with it. For those who never worn it and then they wear it for the first time, they might find that it's actually surprisingly loud. And even if you can adjust the volume, whether you adjust it yourself or the audiologist will adjust it from their own machine, kind of like a sound engineer in a way, it can be quite loud. But then you have to think about it. It's loud, but this is the normal level that it's supposed to sound like, and just we're not used to it. And this comes to my next point as well. It's not just about how loud it is, but also our body is not used to it. When you're used to not wearing it for a long time, or you spend a lot of time just not wearing it over the course of a day, then your brain is kind of confused about what's the normal sound. So when you listen to an environment without hearing aid, then it sounds like that. But then you wear a hearing aid, it's completely different. It's trying to adapt and adjust and say that's the normal way. But that's the thing, some people get put off by it. I got put off by it because it's annoying. So I just thought, I'm not going to wear it, it's just too loud and it's not very nice to wear, all that kind of stuff. But you just have to get used to it, persist, and it does gradually get better, except when there's a loud noise come from nowhere and you just have to get used to it. And that's the thing, your brain needs to get used to the new sound in terms of the volume, but it's not just the volume, it's just also how sound is supposed to sound like as well. For many years I thought a particular sound like this, and then you wear it and it's like, that doesn't sound right, it doesn't sound normal. But it actually is normal for a lot of people. And this is another thing that you just have to get used to, is that it may sound uncomfortable because you're not used to it, your body is not used to it, your brain is not used to it. So it's one of these things that you just have to try to persist and get used to the idea when you wear a hearing aid. Having said that, one thing that I do get annoyed with is that it's not natural in certain places. For example, I do like to play the guitar, as you can see behind me, and I know that when I wear the hearing aid and I listen to a sound, it sounds way too different to how it's supposed to sound. Compared to when you're wearing music with the headphone, and the acoustic sound, the bass, the treble, all this kind of thing, what it sounds like. But with a hearing aid, it's very different, and that is when I get annoyed, because it just doesn't sound normal. But it's okay, at least I'm lucky enough to be able to listen to music and to play the guitar without the hearing aid on, so that I can hear the sound how I like it. But it does also mean that I will miss certain small things in that sound, so that's why I will never be able to be an audio engineer or sound engineer or be a kind of a producer in that area. It's just not going to happen, because what I hear with or without hearing aid is completely different to the mass audience. So that's the way it is. Oh yeah, and another time when it's not comfortable to wear is when you're eating food, especially those crunchy sound food. Oh man, it's just so annoying. Whether you're eating something like a crisp, for example, that is very, very loud. Peanuts or something, anything that crunchy snack food sound, it amplifies. You hear it. You hear what your teeth is doing when you're munching and crunching, and it just amplifies to the point where at times at a dinner conversation I have to take it off because it's just so annoying. But that's the thing, I take it off and then I can't hear other people. So it's like, give me a break. But it's not forever. You eat, and then whatever gets put it back on, done. So I'm just gonna stick to eating jelly and ice cream. That's it. I have talked about in another video that wearing hearing aid is not a perfect solution, and it's not a cure. I'm gonna mention that right up there in the related video. So it's not perfect, but it's the next best thing that I have, and it's something that I will, I just have to get used to. I'm still not used to it after many years, but it's just something that people are aware that just because I'm wearing it doesn't mean that everything is normal in terms of how you hear things. So be aware of that when you see other people wearing hearing it as well. But at the end of the day, one thing that I can definitely tell you how it feels like is when you take it off. The best way I can say how it feels like, and God, it sounds different already. The best way I can describe the feeling of taking off your hearing aid, especially after a long day, is imagine the feeling when you have been on your feet all day, walking all day, or working all day, when you choose on, and you take it off. That feeling, that feeling? That's what it feels like when I take off my hearing aid. But it's just something that, again, you just have to get used to, because if you are out and about, you have to wear your hearing aid all day. You just get used to it. But then that when you take it off, it's like, it's so nice. Take it off. It's just nothing in your ear. So imagine again, you're just wearing it all day long, and imagine the feeling of taking it off, or even a normal headphone if it's like over the ear as well. You can't wear that all day. It just doesn't feel right. Kind of similar to hearing aid, but it's fine. At least it's, I can take it on and off whenever I want. Not that big a deal. Now, even though I've been saying a lot of things that are not nice, not comfortable, it's just not, something that I enjoy wearing, it has gotten a lot better since I wore it like maybe 20-25 years ago, and it was not great at that time. But things have moved on, technology has gotten better, the level of care, especially by the NHS staff, has gotten better, and it's more knowledgeable. And the skills that you require from the audiologists, the sound technicians, the audio engineer people who actually adjust the sound, gotten a lot better as well. And thanks to them that they're making my life easier as well. So there is a lot of benefit to what I'm doing right now in terms of wearing a hearing aid compared to what I've worn decades ago. So definitely have something to be grateful for. So these are some of the things that I thought I'd share with you about what does it feel like and sound like to a hearing aid. Hopefully that give you a bit of understanding when you see other people and when you're around me as well. Hopefully we get that chance as well. Let me know what you think, and also, do you have any other questions? Let me know in the comment below, because I'm curious to know. I just want to get rid of all the myths that people think that what it sound like, and I want to get through that and help you out. So hope that makes sense. Hope you enjoyed watching it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and I will see you next time. Take care.